Recording. All right, now welcome by Coach Capeau, who is the blueprint, I guess, behind the performance by Cooper Lutkenhaus this weekend to just blow everybody's minds. And I, right off the bat, like, how's your mind doing? And like, how have you processed this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, obviously incredible. Right to say that we planned it that way is definitely not the thing, right? Grateful. The good part is it's like it's been a really positive like feeling. It's not like been a one of those ones where it's just like chaotic or right too much. I mean, it's cool like the amount of people that you hear from or like local news, right? Getting in contact with them and stuff, but it's been all like good, positive emotions, right? Like so I feel like that's how everyone feels. It's like the kid's still the kid, like as far as Cooper, like we still treat him like he's Cooper. Like it was great. Like I think you mentioned on there about like he was back at practice on Monday morning. Guess what he did? He was with the team. He's with like obviously all that good stuff. But it's like yeah. So to say that it's not unreal, it's 100% unreal, but also it's a really good emotional feeling.
How much of it was a total shock to you? Because in hearing him talk about it and just like what the goals were, getting to the final was a win just for the weekend in general. But then to come away with the U18 world record, running 142, making the team, I'm sure that part of it is still shocking.
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah, I think he even said it too. We had talked, and it's like, man, if we just run the best race ever and you just execute and I don't know, someone doesn't really, uh, do what they need to do, well, maybe we can run 143 high, 144 low, and we sneak in there, like it's one of those like, man, maybe, but also hey, if we get fifth place in the finals of the USA Championship, we'll take it all day. Like, and so that's the gift, right? There is no pressure. He's 16, and funny because people are like, there's a ton of pressure. It's like, no, it's not. He's supposed to lose. Like, you're right. Like, and I know that sounds like people are like, no. It's like, yeah, like we're loving it for the whole experience of it all. And as you got to talk with him, the kid loves the sport. So to him, it's such a gift to just be there.
When the big question is how, right? Like, how did this performance happen? Where do you start on answering that?
Man, I how would be I would actually go with family. I mean, Hal would start with his family. His family is a great family, right? His dad's the athletic director. His mom's a principal, right? His older brother runs at Tulsa. His oldest brother swam at Adams State. Like they are a close family. They spend their time with their family, right? Like they spend the time invested in their family. So I 100% would say that's how that it starts there 100%. And then the other part is like he doesn't miss, right? Like I'm a high school coach. I tell kids a lot of time how I think they could get better or get to a different spot. It's like if you tell Cooper that, you better tell him stuff that you really want him to do because he's going to do it, right? If you say, hey, you got to be here after school for whatever, a second run or get on a bike or whatever, it's like, okay, he's there every time. So it's like the other part is like he loves it. Like he doesn't miss. So a ton of people are, right, to be cliche, talented, but they don't do the things to maximize their talent. So how is he there? Because he's doing everything to at least give him the chance to maximize his talent. Do we know that it's going to be 142? No, we don't know that. We have no clue what it is. Right now, even more, you're like, I have no clue what it is. Like to already be at that aspect. But it's like, how is he's doing the things that it takes to see how good he can be. He loves finding out what that looks like.
So give me, I guess, a little bit of the timeline of, going back to when you took this job, at the high school to start working with him. I mean, just being in Texas, you'd already kind of gotten, an idea of like, oh, this kid is really talented, and now he's coming under your, eye. From there, I guess, where did things really begin in establishing that relationship with him? Because I guess one of the key things that he pointed out to me was that goes a long way too, is the relationship that he has with you and that trust.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is with me showing up was just that like the commitment piece, right? You're committed, I'm committed, right? Like you want to do because even I had a moment where I was like, man, do being honest, I had a thought for like a month where I'm like, do I slow this down a little bit? This is really fast to be running at a really young age. And then I'm also once but that's and now I start getting to know the kid and I'm like, you know what, the kid wants to see how, and I'm saying kid, probably don't need to use that, especially the way that the dude's built, right? He better shape and bigger than me. So, but like, as far as like, you start to know him and it's like, the kid loves it. Like, why are you holding back something that a kid's loves? And so then it's like, cool. You know what? Let's go get the high school national record this year. Then let's do it. Like, and so we were aiming at that 100%, which I know most people probably are aware that we would. But it's like at first that wasn't the ambition. But then you're like, this kid is that committed. Like this kid loves it. Like he'll ask me if I saw races, and I'm like, no, I didn't see that. Like he'll ask me about people, and I'm like, who? Like like type of thing. And it's like, and it's funny because I love the sport, but he's just a student of the sport and likes to be around it all. So I think it's just being equally committed to, let's see what you can do. You want to go after this. It's like, cool, let's go after it.
You yourself like are also a little bit like of a journeyman like in the sport where it's like several coaching stops along the way, learning from a variety of different people. So in order to, up your own sort of skill set as a coach, can you give me, I guess, a bit of background? And for the people who like probably are also wondering, it's like, who's the high school coach who just coached this guy? What's your background in getting to this point with your own sort of knowledge as a coach?
Yeah, so I mean, I ran NII, I ran Cal State San Marcos, I ran for Steve Scott, American record holder. So a ton of my stories are right. I go, Steve, like they gave me Cooper and the guys last year gave me like a poster of Steve Scott, like it framed and whatever, because I'll share like, oh, like Steve Scott. And so they're always like, Steve Scott, type of thing. And it's like, but I got to be coach for him. No one in my family had ever gone to college, so just the ability to get there, I was just grateful to be there. I always think I was a okay runner, right? I was very much okay. I did the 4x8 at nationals. I did the 10K at nationals. I did the marathon at nationals. Like I was okay at everything and great at nothing. So that'd probably be the initial start to the journey. Is like, well, why don't we coach to be great at things, right? Like if we're gonna do something, let's be great at it. From there, I got to go I mean, literally at University of Texas, I was the assistant to the distance coach. I was out there putting flags in the ground, like at Zilker Park, and I'm literally like just watching, which was awesome too, right? You don't know it at the time because you're like ambitious and want to do stuff, but I'm just getting to like watch what's happening at University of Texas. Like the fact of them just being like, hey, you don't run in a University of Texas jersey that way, stuff like that, where you're like, that's pretty awesome. So to see that atmosphere, then I get my first opportunity to coach, right? Like my philosophy and stuff at San Diego State under Coach Burrell. She's still there. She's still a huge mentor to me. Like I love Coach Burrell. Funny enough, from University of Texas, Michelle Freeman was there, who's a Jamaican Olympian hurdler, and then she was at San Diego State. So I always spend a lot of time with Michelle Freeman, and also I love her passion. I love her intensity. I pick her brain on things. Like I was able to ask her, and like she's like a sister to me. So literally, I get a lot of that information. Probably why I'm okay at the speed part of things, even though I'm a distance coach. Right, and so I get to be around some really, really good people, which help. And then as I make my way, if you know NCAA coaching too, right? It's a tough journey. I hate to lean too much on the personal stuff. My dad passed away, and I moved back to Texas, right? Because it's like my mom's here, my brothers are here, that type of stuff. So I have like that family connection to Texas. This is home, right? So I come home, type of situation, and it's like I get Cade Bethman as the first high school kid that I get to coach. Rich, he's a great kid. He ends up running at Ole Miss, right? And so he runs 150.5, which is awesome. Right side random story is his junior year at regionals, he gets second place, and who got first place? Bryce Hoppel. Right. So like I kind of joke of like, man, we've been hunting Bryce Hoppel for a long time, as far as my coaching world, the experience of 800, because right, like again, I coach a kid that was trying to beat Bryce Hoppel back in the day, type of thing. And again, still, the aspect of Cooper, I get it. Amazing, and he loves, like he said, Bryce Hoppel's been amazing to him through it all. But it's like kind of the worlds colliding, right, to be able to have that crossover. And so then just kind of trekking through high school coaching and having some great experience, send a lot of kids to college. Like I said, I always give Cade Bethman a ton of the credit. Even I just talked to him a couple of days ago, and the right, and he was like, dude, it's unreal. All these Ole Miss guys were texting me like, dude, what is Capeau doing with that kid? Like, because they know that I was Cade's coach, type of situation. And so it's getting to like have that experience where I tell him, I was like, dude, I'm sorry to you, because it's like I got so much better at coaching a high school kid. because sometimes I did some really stupid stuff with you as a high school kid, right? But you're like, all right, and so you're always refining, kind of learning that. And then I always say too, though, from Cade, he went to Ole Miss, right? Got coached by Coach Van Hoy. Coach Van Hoy is like my. If you said who do I think the best middle distance coach is in the United States, I think it's Ryan Van Hoy, without a doubt. Like that's, and I know there's other really good ones. Van Hoy is the dude. Like Van Hoy is one, his passion for it, his ability. I mean, he's killing it. Like, and again, he was at Ole Miss, but then now being at Cal Poly, slow. It's like, I mean, again, I just talked to him a couple days ago, right? Like he hit me about it. It's like the guy loves the sport. The guy loves like being about it as far as like racing and things. So I get to talk with him, and I get to kick. You know, and this is 10 years ago, so it wasn't Cooper's not even right. I don't what he's 6 years old at
6
that
years
point.
old,
We're not
yeah.
thinking about we're not thinking about Cooper, right? Type of thing. And so it's like, but I get to talk to some really incredible people like him, like I said, Michelle Freeman, like Coach Burrell, like, and then there's some other side where I've seen some coaches along the way where I'm like, I would never do what you do. Like that's not for me at all, right? You don't make me want to be a better coach. Like I don't like the way, and I have my downfalls as a coach and stuff too. But it's like I've gotten to see really good things. I've gotten to grow as a person, and so it's kind of that perfect clashing of worlds where, Cooper wants to be as great as possible. Cool. I'll give you as much as I can to get you as great as possible.
I know putting a guy on the world team is probably pinnacle of success thus far, but it sounds to me like even from doing a little bit of research into you, like you were pretty open about just like not coming from a whole lot in Texas. And is it the development and then, sometimes getting these kids these college opportunities that really brings you the fulfillment in your job?
Oh, 100%. Because right, I shared, I didn't even know how to get to college. Like, I remember, right, one of my great friends, he's still a great friend to me, ran in college with him, Tony Guadagnini. He goes, you didn't know how to get to college? And I was like, yeah, dude, like, you gotta get, no one did that in my family. I didn't even know what you do. Like, I don't know step one. And I get it. You can Google everything now and just say, how do you get to college or AI? It's like, well, again, I'm a little bit older. Like, I didn't even know what question to ask. I didn't know who to ask. So I didn't even go right to college. Like I was working. I started working right out of high school. And so it is like one of those aspects where, yeah, it's like I want to give in the, some of the kids I get it have right. Cooper's a prime example. Has a great family. Like they don't do that, but I love the game of it. I love like, man, let's get you with the best college coach possible. Right? Let's get you to that next level. Because in my high school coach, I always the way he loved and cared about me meant a ton. Kevin Helm, right? Like that is my high school. I still like hit him up and thank him on stuff just because he cared about me. We're not coming from much. That's all you really want. You want someone to be like, man, like they're there for you type of thing. And so he did a lot of that, which I always have taken forward with me in life. Uh, but then the aspect, yeah, like I have loved like getting kids to college. Like I think because it's almost probably like I don't want someone that didn't know not to have the chance, right? And so to me, it's like I want you to have the chance. Even that, right? Going up full circle to Cooper, it's like if you want to go run at USA's, I want you to have the chance, man. Like who am I to hold you back from that? Who is anyone to like take those opportunities away from people? So 100%. And yeah, like I mean, we had some struggle times as a kid for sure. And my mom, I love my mom, that worked two jobs, and yeah, we got by for sure.
So when you are learning from all of these different coaches, when do you feel like you've dialed in your own sort of philosophy and like you coming from the long distance side of things, surrounding yourself with people who do speed very well? What does your own training philosophy look like at this point?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's been, I mean, luckily to have some success along the way to see the things that I've done bad. I'd say the confidence in it is probably really bumped up in the last 5 years, 6 years, even more. Where all of a sudden I start realizing like, I know I love this. I know other people are saying this, but I see all the benefit in this. I'm all in on, like type of thing. So where before I used to be like, well, probably as most people do. I'm looking over there and like, what workout are they doing? What is it? And it's like, and then you just start realizing like, it's not that you don't care, but it is like I don't care. I know what I do well. I've seen success from this school to this school to this kid to this girl to this boy. Like, and so then it's like, well, why don't you double down on the things you do well? I'm sure, right? Like, dude, you're killing it on podcasts and stuff. I'm sure there's moments where you're like, whoo, that's a lot, but I guarantee you as you do more and more, right, you just naturally start realizing I'm really good at this part, or I'm really good at this part, right? And you probably lean more into that. There's a reason why you are in the opportunity you're in, probably, right? Even that part, which again, you go back to Van Hoy. We were talking the other day, and he goes, man, he's like, it's weird sometimes to think about all these other things that you never knew is what led you to coaching Cooper, right? Like, and it's like you didn't know at the time that it was ever going to lead to that, but it's like, or the ability to not, because he has a great thing. He's always like, yeah, people can all day say they can do it better. He's like, but also you did it, like, So it's like all day people go, well, because I don't get on any of those crazy things to read stuff. But one of the other coaches, like, man, like left and right, they're like, wait till he gets a real coach. Cool, good for, like, you know what I mean? Good for them. I don't know. Like, I'm going to keep coaching the kid and caring about the kid. Like, that's my goal, right? And so, great. If he goes to a college coach and they coach the heck out of him, great. I'm going to still care about the kid and want the best for him. So, I think it's a lot of those aspects that, right, tend to give me the confidence that it is working, right?
Hmm. So how'd you end up at Northwest High School?
Yeah, so his dad is the athletic director, right? So oddly enough, right, our paths have kind of crossed right a long time. His dad used to
Hmm.
be a track coach, so I think enough about that. There's a couple of good guys down the road, Jason Grenier and Nick Benton. They coach in the district too for Byron Nelson High School, right? And so those guys, I think, realized there was an opening at Northwest High School. Kind of, right. George knows of me, right, and so they're kind of saying like, "Hey, I think you should do." And this is again compliment to the family. I think you should get with Capeau, right, especially because your son's so good at the 800. And he's like, "Well, I can't do that. I can't bring in someone because of my kid." Like, and that's what I'm saying. George just isn't that guy. George is going to do what's right regardless, right? So if it ain't, and again, he loves his family, but he's not going to like do it. And they're like, no, really, I think you need to get with Capote. Like, you got to get that guy over here. Like, and so that's again grateful to those guys. I wasn't even going to come. So the other side story is my little brother died now almost 3 years ago. So I was down in it. It's funny because I go, oh, in small school, it's not really small anymore, but I spent a couple years at Crandall High School. And the people were amazing. The teachers were amazing. The principal, the admin were amazing. The athletic director was amazing. Like, I loved it there. I love those people. I almost, and people were like, and when George finally did offer me the job, they're like, "Is he not going to take it?" Like, I remember like Green calling, was like, "You're not going to take it." I said, "I don't know, man. These people have been like good to me, And I still, don't get me wrong, the athletic side here is amazing too. So clearly, I came, but it was one of those like those people were just so meaningful and like genuinely care. It felt, it's funny. It's 5A school. We're a 6A school, which is as large as you can be right now in Texas. So it's not like I keep saying it's small, but it feels very small town is probably why I say that. And then oddly enough there, which right, I always need to say the story well enough. I think that Cooper's older brother is a high talent. Andrew Lutkenhaus he runs at Tulsa now. I mean, the kid is, and man, like that kid, I wish I coached that kid. I guess I would all say that. Like, but at state meet, I got to coach against him. And I told my kid, I said, he's going to probably win it, type of situation. Andrew's the best one out here, for sure. And then, of course, I'm still going to coach as hard as I can, but my kid wins state that year in the 800 against his brother. So, right, there is, like I said, there's like weaving of like worlds colliding. But I still wish that I could coach Andrew. Like, I still think Andrew, even though my kid won and I'm stoked that Luke won, it's like that year, because obviously I was there, but I think Andrew's still top tier talent, and like that dude's like one of a kind type of guy. So, anyways, I'm going really long story, so sorry too, but like,
No, you're
yeah,
good.
I eventually just weighed out, right, and the other part is I just had twin girls this past June. I have a boy today is his second year birthday
Oh,
actually.
wow.
Yeah, so like we were living in downtown Dallas to go to Crandall. Like I was driving from there. We're having kids. It's probably nice to get a little bit out. So I was pushed by Lindsay, which is a good push of like, hey, maybe we get to where we have a yard. Maybe right,
Yeah.
like you're married, you understand, like there's some negotiations on that stuff, and I'm like, all right, like do what's best for the family. Plus, it'll be a great experience as far as I get to coach. Right, to say Cooper's not a factor, obviously is, but Cooper will tell you like I didn't come here to coach one kid, like
Hmm.
because one kid graduates. I'm still here. Like I want to coach and have fun and be competitive and all that stuff too. So, but yeah, a lot of credit to his dad. And then Joel Johnson is the executive athletic director. So the only one above George is Joel. Those two are like family to each other. And so like just seeing them interact and being around, like I love those guys. Like and they love right, like Joel. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it because I'm like, I don't know, is he a grandpa to Cooper? Is he an uncle to Cooper? You know, like because he's not old, but I'm like, he just you can tell it's like a family unit. So I love working for those guys. And I get it. You go, well, of course you work for them. It's like, no, like you have to get it. We're Texas and we love like family and they feel very family like.
So do you remember, I guess, in because it's been a little bit vague to me, I guess, when was day one of you working at Northwest?
So when I got offered the job and got cleared by the board and everything, I started coming up probably May of his freshman year. So, but
Okay.
you know, he was still doing workouts from Coach Benning, who Coach Benning's still here. He's the head girls track coach, right? And so he's still doing those. I remember even like I'm like, oh, cool, like because you know I'm gonna like time one of Cooper's workouts. Like I'm not making the workout, but I'm gonna because I'm not gonna mess up something that's already moving. And then Cooper's already running, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not time, you know, because Cooper's so used to like doing it right. He's the head girls. Benning is the head girls track coach, so sometimes he has to be with that. So Cooper would just do the workouts on his own, and I remember going up to him and I'm like, "You're either gonna like me coaching or not," but I was like, "You're gonna go when I say go," type of thing. Like you know, like I like to know what's happening. I like to be able to give you feedback on stuff and all that. So I'd say we lightly trickled into it in May of his freshman year, going into that summer. But mostly, I was just watching then, right? And then we picked it up after he shut down his freshman competitive season, and then yeah, so far it's been, you know, it's
Um,
obviously been well. Yeah.
yeah, it's been a magical sophomore season from there. So what was your assessment? Obviously, at that point, like he's already setting class records and all this kind of stuff and lighting up, just amazing times as a freshman. But what did you see is as like his potential for the year ahead and areas that you thought he could improve upon?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing that I remember telling him last summer, I said, some of your regular runs are too slow, man. I said, it's like, they're too slow. I said, I came out here when I interviewed and I'm standing out here in the heat of Texas and the sun in my suit and I'm looking at y'all running around because, you know, I'm just like watching what's happening. And I said, you're running way too slow on some of
How
this stuff,
slow?
dude. Like, oh, I'm talking about like they were. If I had to guess, 10-minute pace, like jogging, like a, and I get it, it's a cool down or whatever it was, and I was like, what is happening here? I'm like, we're wasting time at some point, right? Now I get it. People go with the Kenyan shuffle
Hey,
and all
that's
that. I'm like,
exactly
yeah,
what I
but
was going to counter with. Yeah.
yeah, but they're running like 100 miles. The
Yeah.
Cooper is not running, you know. And so I said, everyone is. You're clearly fast. I said, everyone at some level though. It's like, can you be strong enough to still use that speed, right? Like, can you still use your speed when you get, you know, obviously this was not the plan, but let's just say how he's. Can you come back and not wobble, right? In which he's had amazing kicks his whole life and all that. But I'm saying, well, as we get faster, everyone's faster. It's like, can you still use that? Can you be strong enough to hit that? But also, we're not going to go more. We didn't go more mileage. We just did better, right? We cleaned up the points where he was maybe missing, probably not even focusing on, right? He's just kind of, all right, I'll get in 20 minutes, 30-minute run. It's like, cool. Hey, I want this at 7-minute pace. Like, you know, nothing even
Hmm.
crazy. Just like, I don't want this at 10-minute jog, whatever, around pace, which it, right. If you think about like him as a sprinter, it's like, it probably is fine, right? Just, I don't know, just get your body moving. But also I'm like, let's get a little benefit out of this. So we just talked about that stuff early on. And that was probably, if you said, what else? Nothing, right? Continue to build speed. He's getting older. He's getting stronger, type of situation. And then again, just do the things that we do simple. And actually, which he's still, I'd say he's gotten way better, but he did drills a little bit weird sometimes. Like he did it like kind of like a baby giraffe type of thing where he'd like, you know, kind of be moving. And it's like, I was like, you got to clean up some, you know, put your hips under. Is stuff that it's like anyone could pick out type of thing, but it was like, we'll just clean up the small, simple things. Which, and again, it's hard to say that because he's already, you know, like hopefully I'm saying this well because I'm like, the kid is a monster. But
Hmm.
we were just like, let's focus on simple little things that we can work on.
From a physiological standpoint, yeah, I get like he's just 16 years old and he's probably still growing, but he appears to have the perfect build for this event right now. And so when you watch him run form wise, technique, and all that kind of stuff, like what stands out to you about where he's at right now? Because obviously he can probably get bigger and stronger, for years to come.
Yeah. I mean, just that part, even in the last year, I mean, he's grown a lot. right? And so he was already tall, but he's getting taller. He was already had good muscle build, but like you're saying, he's grown more muscle type of situation. So, and then the funny part about him is he looks better when he runs fast than when he runs slow. Like when he runs slow, it doesn't look as good. Like, but when he runs fast, like the faster he goes, the better it looks, and you're like, wow. Like, so I don't know, like if you were like, what else do you do for a visit? I, keep doing what we're doing, like keep not rushing it, keep letting them be a kid, right? Letting it be fun, like that type of thing, which I get can like ramble on, but it's like the physiology part. It's like just I'm big on like focusing on what he's good at. He likes speed. Cool, let's stick with speed. It's that simple.
So let's go into this is I'm sure where everyone's been super curious on like the nitty-gritty of the workouts and just sort of the quality of the work that you guys do. When you say the focus on speed, how has that sort of been developed over the past year? Because he was already
Yeah,
fast. Yeah. I mean
yeah,
40,
yeah.
47, 46 speed for the 400. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so mostly just giving them opportunities to touch it often. I think sometimes as distance runners and distance coaches, we get more stuck on the we got to do more, where we are kind of on the school of like let's do and not everything, but like say a workout for him, it's like let's do less like let's do things that you're actually going to touch. If we're trying to make you comfortable, right, with this type of speed, then we need to maybe touch it a little more often, right? Like have those opportunities to do that. So the the aspect is like, yeah, I mean, really, it's that. It's like we touch speed often, and I think a lot of people do, but we probably do it more than most for a distance runner.
So his weekly structure is, I think he said workouts on Tuesdays, Thursdays. Is that what it
Yeah,
is? And what
yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, sometimes a Friday. And so yeah, Monday we long run for him, but I don't know,
no longer than
uh,
7 miles is what it
Yeah,
seems like.
yeah. We go about I have it written as 5 to 8, right? So just know that where it's like I know that I'm not going to get more than 8, right? But also we're not going less than 5, and he's good with that, And I think that gives him the ability to choose some of that too. So yeah, right. That's Monday, right? Like we're going to do that, and then we're going to do drills. We're going to do core, right? We're going to do the basics that anyone else is doing. Tuesday we'll do it a little bit longer. Same just as anyone else, right? Actually, this would probably be the biggest thing I'd say. It's like everyone's like, "What are you doing with that kid?" It's like, right, to stop here and pause on this weekly schedule. It's like if you have Michael Jordan, you know what you're doing. You're making sure Michael Jordan gets to the game, like right, like I, Cooper is a monster. It's like I have the Michael Jordan right now of the 800. It's like I'm just making sure that he gets to get there and keep playing the game, right? Like what are you doing? Coaching Michael Jordan. That's what I'm, like what are you doing? You're coaching Cooper. So Tuesday we do literally like fartleks, like nothing crazy. Like we do simple fartleks, right? Like on Wednesday we do a regular run. On if it's Thursday or Friday, yeah, we hit some speed, like and I'm talking about since back, December, January. Yeah, like we're gonna touch speed early and often, but also different variations, right? Like back then, and I don't think I brought this up. Like there came a point in April, May where like I remember talking to me, him, and his dad are sitting around in his dad's office, and I'm like, because he was hitting workouts that were just crazy. Why did I think they were crazy? Is because back in January we were doing similar workouts at a different pace, and he looked tired. Now he's hitting these workouts at like 300s at a whole different level, and he's like getting better at them. Like literally, it's like I'm like, what is happening right now? So I tell his dad, I go, because we were aiming at 145. We knew we wanted to get the high school national record. But I go, maybe we're undershooting. Like maybe we're not thinking big enough. So did we think 142 now? But we started being like, maybe 144 is there, like that type of thing. And so it's like that would be the part. So we start out with it's slow speed, but it's speed for January, it's speed for February. And then we are able to go back and look at that and progress that.
When I asked him sort of like, was there a workout or so that gave him confidence, and he kind of rattled off that one workout, I guess, in the lead up to USA's where he closed. There was 500. I forget what it was exactly, but I got a couple texts from people who listened to it, and they were like, "It's so funny that that's the workout that he picked out because you listen to it and you hear the splits and the amount of rest, and it sounds like a 148 guys workout. Like it's not necessarily a 142 guys workout or anything like that." So what were some of the workouts, I guess, in April that were really, I guess, speaking to you. And then as he breaks the record and the summer progresses, like, were there more of those moments where you're like, okay, all right, we might be dealing with that 144 might be a bit more realistic.
Yeah, I mean stuff like for example, say we're doing 200s in January, he's running like 25 high, and it looks hard, right? We're working to hit these. And now say we're doing 200s in June, July. I'm talking about I'm having to slow him down so he doesn't run 23s. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Right, I'm on the bike. Literally, I'm sure he'll let you know too. Where I'm like, relax, 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 like because I'm like, it's like almost like the kid's just shooting out of a cannon at times, and you're like, no, too fast, right? And it's like I know that sounds crazy, but it's like I keep doing the like, right? Like I'm like, no, 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 like let's not get loose that much, like because that's the other part. I think too, it's easy to overrun it, and now he's injured, right? Which we had a little moment where it was a touch of a bang up, and you're like, right? And so you're trying to manage those things, right? Like so again, the Michael Jordan thing, it's like I'm trying to make sure I don't mess it up, right? Like, and some of that is sometimes being like, hey, let me slow you down for a second, relax, right? Like, type of situation. So I agree with them. Some of those workouts aren't that, whoa, mind blowing. But it's also like, yeah, but he's running 23s. How many other kids are running 20? And I'm talking about easy running, like in practice by himself, just at the end of a workout. And you're like, okay, like, yeah, let's run 20. You know what I mean? So 25s looked hard. Now 23s look like they look the same, but you look fresher and more excited running the 23 than you did the 25 that looked hard
Hmm.
5 6 months ago. So it's like things like that where you're like, oh, your body is just adapting to this really well.
What's the craziest thing you've seen him do at the end of a practice?
Yeah, if he was talking about that workout, I mean, so we had done that workout right where he at the end of it we took a rest and then we ran. Hey, we're gonna run a hard 400,
Hmm.
right? Like, and again, nothing crazy. It's like a track meet, I guess, but you're running by yourself after we've done some work, right? We're not prepping for this workout, and he runs it, and I remember in May, right? He runs like 52, and it was like he's like, Coach, that was hard, like at the end of the workout. And so then what was it like 2 3 weeks ago? We go same type of workout, but again, we've been progressing down. And I'm like, let's try that when I had put it on the schedule, so we knew it was coming. But I'm like, if we feel good, we'll go after that 400. It was optional. I wrote it in as optional 400. Uh, and he goes, Coach, if I run over 50, he's like, you can't tell, like one of those, because I'll usually like hit up his dad or whatever. He's like, don't tell my dad, right? And I go, well, let's see what you got, right? And so he runs a 48, and I was like, holy, and I mean, controlled, smooth, like just looked good. And I was like, all right, man. Like I'm like, that was only 2 months ago. We did the same workout, and you hit 52, right? And so again, to see a 48, I told him, I said that workout was nasty, man. I was like, that's how I described it. So that was pretty dang. I get it. He's run faster than 48, but you just have to get the context of like
Oh
he
yeah.
just says training, like, and I'm sure other kids can. Good, right? I saw that one workout video. The kid ran whatever 147. Yeah, we never done anything like that in practice. So you got us way beat. Other people have probably way more monster workouts than us. Props to them. But for what we know we're doing, it's like I know that means something because I also know that we're like I said that sometimes I'm holding them back on stuff. So I know like if he's doing that right, we're hitting it. It's one of those right. You're hitting it the right time, the right way, right? Not just doing it all
Hmm.
because you can do it all. I promise if I could just let him, he'd run 23s all day and be like, Coach, let's only do 200s for the rest of like training and that, and he'd just be killing them and running 22s, and somehow he'd be running a 21, and I'd be like, I don't know what to do, like because the kid is fast, like, and he loves running fast. But also, I think that's the good part. He loves running fast, right? It's
With,
it's self-induced.
with the Michael Jordan comp, like it's interesting because even Michael Jordan's coaches had to try and level themselves up and devise new plays and change things up, in game to suit, his talents. Now, for you, you have a whole team to focus on, and I'm sure like that part of the job may come a bit easier when you're 1% that you're dealing with, like how to totally manage. So, when there's so many new things in the sport, the double threshold, the bicarb, all that kind of stuff, like that is trendy and there's studies and all that stuff coming out. Like, what have you been doing, I guess, to also in the past year level yourself up in your knowledge base as a coach to handle this talent?
Yeah, I would honestly say keeping it. I know it sounds silly. It's like I'll definitely learn about that stuff because I feel like I need to at least look at it. But I also it has to make sense.
Yeah,
Guess how many double thresholds Cooper's done ever?
none.
0. I'm not saying it's a bad workout. I'm not saying anything, right? Like different things work for different people. That's the great part of training. But it's like, I'm going to know about it because again, it might help another kid on the team. But none of us have done it. I haven't done it with any athletes. I'm not saying I never will, right? But it's like, it has to make sense. And like I said, I've got to know that I believe in this. I'm not going to just give Cooper something because it's like to do. But yeah, if something's happening, I'm not going to lie. I go to the people I trust. I go to the people that mean a lot to me that I trust bigger than just training. It's like I just trust you as a person. Like you'll shoot me straight. Like, hey man, you're overrunning them, or hey, you know, maybe you need to run them harder, right? Like that type of whichever way that you want to go with it. So it's being aware, but also. I'm really bad at like sometimes people are like, hey, do you see that kid in San Antonio? And I'm like, no, like I don't care. I care what Cooper's doing, right? I care what we do. And so it's like I'm really bad at not getting so wide because all that matters is am I taking care of my responsibility? My response, right? Like I don't. You do what you do with your family. I do what I do with my family. Type of thing. I think sometimes we get so big and we're looking over there, and it's cool, right? Like I've been reached out to people. I'm super grateful. It's a compliment that people have done that. But also, it's like, guess what? I'm going to keep doing. I'm just going to keep doing what we do, right? Like, and I mean that in the best way. But also, like you're saying, the leveling up comes. I'm getting data from coaching, right? I'm old school. I still write in a book their times and stuff. So it's like, guess what I do? I go back and I look at my book, and I'm like, what? How did? Right? I just told you a workout. I'm like, I know he ran 52 on this. I know he ran 48 on this now, right? I'm just comparing my stuff. Here's the other part. If a workout goes terrible, I'm probably not doing that workout again. I don't care. You can tell me all day that that's the best workout, and I'm not doing that. I need this kid to be confident. I don't need to make him feel right, like he hates the sport or anything like that. It's like he loves it. I need to keep making sure he loves it, right? He's got a great family. I need to keep making sure he gets to go spend time with his family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't overcomplicate it. And so I think that's the biggest thing. And I just get more and more set in that where it's like, so many people have been like, there was a local newspaper out here the other day, and he mentioned about like, man, everyone's spelling your name CAPO. I haven't seen one of those yet. I don't know. I didn't see it. There's so much. That's a great part too. There's so much stuff about Cooper right now. I don't even see it. Like I see some of it. I think it's cool to see the stuff that I see, but you guess what I'm focused on? Cooper, we got whatever practice today. I still have, like you said, I have a team. I have a race on Saturday. We're running a mile race on Saturday. It's like, I don't know. I go to work. I got a 2-year-old today. Guess what I was doing last night? I was buying him Paw Patrol balloons and right. Like, I don't know. Like I still got to take care of my responsibilities.
Yeah, no, the spelling mistake is pretty prominent because it hindered some of my early research on Googling you and then trying to find any other details. And then it was just sort of like only recent articles. And then when he texted me your name, I was like, oh, that's the spelling. He goes like, oh, he gets that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, I get it. It definitely sounds like that.
Yeah.
Capo, CAPO. Yeah. Uh,
Um, so when you are focused on the long-term development of this generational talent that you've got, I hear, and I've spoken so many times with like Chris Miltenberg and how when he managed Grant Fisher, in college and Elise Cranny, it was with a longer term vision of like, oh, they can be great. And I'm not going to burn them to the bone in college. I want to leave meat on the bone so that they can go on and flourish. So what do you prioritize, when it comes to Cooper's long-term development right now? Because he's still got technically 2 years of high school and then it's college and then maybe, turning pro. And although that could be sooner, whatever that is. So I guess like when it comes to long-term development, like how do you focus on that?
Honestly, it's probably not the question that you're looking for. It's like, and mine is like confidence. Like I need to keep him confident. I need to keep the kid loves the sport. I need to keep him having fun. Like, and it's like, how do you do that? By giving him workouts that he loves doing, right? He likes the sport. He likes doing this. Don't make him hate doing it by doing whatever. We're going to do 12-mile long run every day. He doesn't love that. Why would I make him do that? So the long-term development is keep the kid loving the sport, right? Like what's good for track and field? to have people love the sport of track and field. What's good for Cooper? To have him love the sport of track and field. So it's like continuing to do that. Yes, absolutely. Is there the right? Yeah, like clearly he made the world team. It's like, is there a lot of big things? Cool. We'll talk about it when we get there. It's like right now, let's take care of what we need to do today. Hey, you need to get in the ice bath, dude. Like, I don't care. Well, I'm going to the right, and Cooper would never, but imagine a kid. Cooper will, and that's the part I love about him too. He's the same. That's why it works well. He's the same way. He cares what we need to do. Coach, what are we doing today? Like it's. I sent him a schedule for this week, Sunday night. Like we just continued to do what we do because I sent him the schedule for the week on Sunday night. It's like so that didn't change. It's like so the long term is taking really good care of the short term and knowing that there's a lot of possibility out there, but keep the possibility fun, not being like we gotta be. It's like we'll see when we get there, right? Like, but also, yeah, if we keep developing it, it's kind of like, right? You run a good race, you usually run a good time, right? We do a good training this year, he'll probably keep running good times, right? So it's the long term, and he's confident. He'll probably grow a little bit more confident, right? Like, it's really almost too simple, like, well, what are you going to do for his speed? Keep him touching speed, right? Like, and
Hmm.
it's almost always just repeats, repeats, repeats. It's like, what are you going to do for his confidence? Make sure he stays confident, right? And well, everyone's saying, yeah, I get it. Everyone is going to say all this stuff, but my job as a coach is to be there for him and care for him. And he has an amazing family that does that too, right? Like he has people around him that care for him. It'd be easy to mess it up and right to be like, you have to now. It's like, no, even worlds were like, well, if we get to the semifinal, if we get to the like, we don't take it. And I get it. People are like, well, he's got no, we don't know that. We don't know that at all. We'll get there when we get there, but it's like right now we got to take care of what we're taking care of right now. So the long term plan is so much based off of the short term, right? So like you're saying, the leaving the meat on the bone. There's I don't know how to explain it, but there's plenty of it because I promise
Hmm.
you, we're not. And I know people are like, well, he's running fast. It's like he is, but not because we're overrunning him, not because we're overtraining him. Like I can say that for sure. It's like he's just added different capability and right, he has that great recipe because there's people that have really good, strong physical ability, but they don't have the confidence. There's people
Hmm.
that have really great confidence. They don't have the physical ability, right? Like you can all day be confident that you're going to be Michael Jordan, but if you're 5 foot tall, probably not, like type of situation. So it comes that mix of that where yeah he's kind of got the joy of having both, right? He's got the confidence as far as like good mental awareness, good confidence, right? He's got a great family that has his back, right? And then he's got the physical ability to put those things together.
Where's he at in his sort of development where it's like, are we trying to build speed while he's young? And is that something that among high schoolers that you've kind of noticed is like you got to build that speed while they're young, or is it right now making him stronger so that he can hold that natural speed or a combination of both? Like, how are you assessing where he's at right now?
Yeah, I would definitely say a little bit of both, but also like we won't sacrifice one for the other, right? We're not going to sacrifice speed to go more strength. We're not going to sacrifice the strength that we're getting to go all speed, right? Like it's like we know that it's important for him to have a little bit of both of that. So, but also it's this is where my thing comes in as a coach and probably why I don't, I don't know why he doesn't win state championship as a cross country guy. It's like I'm willing to not run him more, right? Like I'm willing to, and that's ask most of the kids on my team, ask most kids I've coached. Like we're not a high mileage type of program because I'm also like I'm confident that I can coach you. I'm confident I can adapt to, and I'm talking about multiple kids. Like I can adapt to you. Now again, I probably leave a ton on the bone as far as the build. Well, good. When we need to add that, cool. We need to take you from 30 to 40 miles a week, then we'll do it. We don't see the need to do that right now, so we're not doing it. Right? And it's not like, well, will you ever? Yeah, if it's needed. That's the good part about Cooper. If I told him right now, hey, you got to run 80 miles a week to be able to run your goals, he'd say, okay. He'd be like, I hate it, but okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so that's the good part of Cooper. So, yeah, if we needed to do that, we would do that. But also, we still believe there's a lot of speed there. He's getting bigger and stronger as a young man, right? He's young. There's so much things we don't know that are still happening, right? It's like, so we just continue to develop that and kind of let his body naturally do a lot of the stuff that it's doing while we support it, right? So it's like we don't sacrifice either. And also, yeah, He's fast. He loves running fast. So if you go, well, why are you doing more of that? Because he loves it. If he said, Coach, I love running 12-mile long runs, guess what? We'd probably do more of 12-mile long runs. I don't really fight that current too much. It's like, the kid loves this. I got his back. Let's make sure you have the things that you love. It's like, oh, I need to make sure that you get this and you don't love it. Well, here's why you need to still do this part. Like, and he's open to it because again, the kid loves the sport.
One thing you kind of brought up before is just sort of like how you've done a good job of just tuning out like a lot of the noise, especially over the last couple days. But do you feel like pressure in handling this talent?
No, I know that's weird to say. No, he's Cooper, right? Like he's my dude. Right. I have his back. He's, like that's I don't know how to explain it. It's like, no, right? Like he's 16. This is all a gift, right? Tomorrow's not promised. All right. Like to again use some cliches of life. It's like I don't feel any pressure on him. He has a great family. You know how I know he's going to be okay? He has a great family, right? His mom and dad are amazing. Like, right? Like they should be on the podcast type of thing because it's like they're such good people that he has around him. And I know people say that all the time. It's like he legitimately won that part. Like, it could have been rough, type of thing. It's not because he has really good. I don't even think sometimes, even though, right, he's talking to you, he's talking to these people, right? Obviously, the kid's getting hit up all the time. I don't even think he's fully aware of I don't think we are. So that's the part. Why are we not even? Why does it feel good emotionally? We don't feel any pressure. We're just like, this is unreal. This is so cool that this, right? It's almost like we're all like, wow, how cool is this that we get to experience all this? How cool is it that we, right, get to be on talking with you? It's like, it's cool, not like, well, yeah, we always knew. It's like, no, we didn't know. Like, or yeah, now we're gonna win worlds. It's like, no, like that's when you start getting in these conversations where it's like, no, you guess what my priority is? Keep taking care of Cooper. Guess what Cooper's parents, right? Their mom and dad. Guess what theirs? Hey, Cooper, go mow the lawn, right? Like he still gets treated like you're a 16-year-old kid, man. You got responsibilities. Like I was saying, my responsibility is to take care of my family. Cooper still has to take care of his family too, right? Like so he might get to joke a little more and be like, hey, like him and his dad always crack me up because they always have really good jokes. He's like, but dad, and he's like, Cooper, you better get in there, whatever, get out there and mow the. It's like those good ones, like back and forth one. He's like, but dad, I'm right, like say I'm the high school national regular. He goes, I don't care. He's like, you better go out there and mow the grass, like it's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like they love him enough to not, right. You can go both ways, right? Well, he is. It's like no, like he's their son, is what he is. Cool that he's getting to do all this stuff, but it's like, yeah, if all this was over, we all still would care about Cooper, right?
Hmm.
Everyone else might disappear, but his mom and dad's still gonna be there. I'm gonna still be here, right? Like he's still a kid at high school on my team. He's still gonna be here with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and so I think that's the part to me, and it'd be easy to say that it does or doesn't. I just really don't, and that's the good part. I trust his parents. Guess what his parents want me to do? Just keep doing what I'm doing. Guess what Cooper wants me to do? Keep doing what I'm doing. Guess what I want to do? Just keep doing what I'm doing, right? Like, cool, be able to enjoy this conversation with you, Chris. But other than that, like, it's not like, well, now you've got to make sure. It's like, no, he's going
Yeah.
to have to do the work. He's going to have to put himself in positions to, right? I'll coach during all of that aspect, but yeah, like, I don't need to do more. He doesn't need to do. I think that's where people mess it up too. It's like, why are you doing that, right? We've all been to or seen a youth video of like a parent, I don't know, berating their kid, and it's like, what are we doing here? Or a
Hmm.
coach or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I'm not doing that, right? Like, and it's funny because I'm an intense guy. I'm an intense coach, right? I probably might come off as that, like, right? I can definitely at practice be like, hey, you better, whatever type of thing. But also I love those kids, right? Like, it's like I care about them in that type of aspect. So it's like, but that's the same as a dad. But guess what? My son is too, right? He likes to crawl over things. I think it's awesome. And then there's certain things I'm like, hey, you better get your tail down from that. And so it's like, yeah, the pressure's not there. The care is there, right? The want for him to keep enjoying this is there. The want to, I don't know, keep the right. I'm glad I don't again read a bunch of the stuff online. Like, dude, I can imagine kids having to deal with all that stuff, right? This amount of stuff. I'm sure it probably happens to you, right? You're interviewing stuff. I don't know. I
Yeah.
imagine you probably get stuff like,
Oh,
why would
definitely.
he ask this thing? It's like, who cares? You're
Yeah.
not even. Who are you, right? Like, so it's like, no, there's no pressure. There's the joy of it. And Cooper is the best, right? It can happen to a better kid in the aspect of he enjoys it. He loves it. He loves the sport. He loves right. He's so honored to be able to talk to Donovan Brazier and Bryce Hoppel, right? He's so honored to be able to talk to you. Like, and I think that really comes through with the way he talks to people too. It's not like a, well, I was told I have to be grateful,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like, no, like the dude is really grateful. And he comes from a good family that's how they are. That's how they are, right? The dad before USA's even started, right, is like, hey man, hit me up. I just want to say thanks for everything that you do for my kid. Dude, you don't have to do that.
yeah.
That's him. I appreciate that though. Like, what? You don't have to hit me up. And again, that's just who they are. Like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I think most people appreciate it. Anyone that gets those type of things appreciate that. But also, you could be beat. And I do silly things like our state. I don't know. Here's a random thing. Our state T-shirt, which now he told me he can't wear anymore because already a lot of kids like hate on him. But our state T-shirt that I made for him to wear, it's like the Notorious B.I.G. with the crown on, but it's his head with the crown. I actually have it right here, so if you want to see it, man,
Yeah, I want to see it.
uh, you know. But it's to me having fun with it, right? Like,
That's amazing. I need one of those. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like, why did I do it? Because it's fun. Like we should be having fun with this, like type of thing. But it's that aspect that is good about Cooper. So, anyways, I feel like I'm rambling on and on.
No,
So
I
my
think
bad
that
if I am.
no, you're good because I think that that's the biggest, I think, in trying to paint a fuller picture of what happened this weekend and having the conversation with Cooper and the conversation with you. I think a lot of people have obviously been wondering, it's like, okay, so what's next? And like the important thing is the circle of people around him. And not we've seen so many prodigies in sports, whether it's not even just track across the board, that because that support system had a couple bad eggs in there, then like the talent never fully goes on to flourish and develop. And hearing the way you speak, hearing the way Cooper carries himself, like there's just, I think a lot of people I think realizing it's like, okay, he's in a great place. He's just a kid, and keeping that the main thing for the time being is going to go a long way in seeing more success to come, because this was a big weekend, but I'm sure, now the hopes and expectations of people who want to see this guy succeed, time after time, like will only be, 10x from here on out. So, no, it's been really cool to hear, just that side of things from you. And I guess I did want to kind of recap really quick, just sort of like the 3 rounds. So first round, fairly easy. No one really got eliminated in that first round. And so he checks that box, moves on. And then the way he described it was treating that semi as the final. And
Yeah.
how did you devise a race plan with him? Because I guess the only thing that maybe caused you a little bit of a heart rate spike was him almost going down, and then but still made it through safely. So what did you think going in, and then actual execution of that race?
Yeah, I mean, obviously nervous because you're like, now it's real. Now you're top two. But also, right, then it's like, let's play the game. If you got to be top two, then we got to be up there by top two, right? And if you watch him race it, he's racing up there, second place and putting himself, and that's the confidence piece of him. If he's going to run a race, he's going to put himself in it. You can be 28, you can be 16, but Cooper's going to race you like he's like you're another racer, right? So that was the plan is like, hey, you be up there, you shadow that, you make sure that right? You have the ability to close down. We know that you do. So we don't think, right, the race is going to go crazy because it's still one more round. So it's like you just cover it. Now you might have to run around what your PR is to get out. But we didn't know exactly we're racing off of place, right? Let's be where the race is. And so then, yeah, when he stumbles and it's kind of a little bit self-induced, right? Like he went through the first lap and it was like, right? Like one, he hadn't raced in a while. He just raced the day before, right? His legs are
Yeah,
like,
he said he woke up a little tired. Yeah.
yeah. So, that part happens. And then when it starts, I was like, oh, like you're scared. You're like, because you don't know. Like, now what I will say is we talk a lot about weird stuff happening. I don't know why. I think I just always am like, people are going to shut. Yeah, I've told them, yeah, you're racing grown men. Not that all of them are going to be this way, but like a lot of them don't care that you're there, man. Like and it's 800's a man's race. Like they're putting elbows into you. They're right. Like, and so like we sometimes are doing workouts where say we're doing a 200, but we're going from like lane 5 cutting in. I've had kids not it sounds bad, like, but running with them that I know shouldn't, that are in front of him, because he needs to learn to work around them, right? Like that. I'm like, it's not cutting off, but it's like being in his way that he has to. And I know you'd be like, that's kind of silly. It is kind of silly, but also it's like, well, we tend to do what we've practiced to do. So he's uncomfortable going, I got to get around this, or I got to do this. So the fact that he rebounded and played that out, so I was like, holy, and then especially at the line, think about it. Like we're having this story of him. If he got third, he didn't make it out.
Right. There's so
Like,
many what ifs along the way. If he would have fallen, if he wouldn't
yeah,
have leaned like that to ultimately get to what Sunday was, and that semifinal is a big part of it.
yeah. So that part's crazy. And then yeah, the fun. And this is where you got to love Cooper. He's like, that one day arrest was amazing. Like, he was like, I'm feeling pretty good, and you're like,
Yeah.
no way, right? Just like how awesome is that? That he's like, that was good, and you're like, what?
Was it on the
Yeah.
rest day then, or the morning of that you told him 143.8 was what you projected for him?
Yeah, we were talking. So, me, him, and his dad do a lot of like, just trying to keep it normal, right? So we'd talk about stuff, and we just said we thought if he ran the a great race, right? You execute, you put yourself in the spot, someone comes back, like if that's there, man, we think we could get 143.8 to 144 low. Like that would be amazing, man. Like, right? That could, it's probably there if we can set that up, type of situation. And so clearly he outdid us all, type of thing. Yeah, I mean, we're literally, he's saying the number exactly. That was our prediction, was 143.8 could be there if he just gets it going and hits it just right.
How'd you arrive at that
Obviously,
number?
I don't know why. I think we just thought yeah, I think we probably just picked 143.8. But also then looking at our other thought was like, if it come, we knew it was going to go out fast. So if it comes through 50, we felt that he could still come back at 53. He's showing that he can run a 53-second lap pretty dang consistent. And so then you also know if you run through at 50, it's going to be 50 point whatever to the 53. So it's not like it wasn't an exact science, but that was kind of the thought, right? If you go 50.2 because those guys are rolling, I think you can still run a 53 mid on the second lap. And so give or take, right? So yeah, I guess don't quote me on 143.8, but that's what we said. But if it would have been 143.6 or
Yeah.
143.9, we wouldn't have been mad at that either.
So he told me about how, at the nationals and all that kind of stuff, he loves sitting in the stands and visualizing just the moment to come. Obviously, US championships a little bit different. Like you don't have just as much time to be out there, and you have the call room, the warm-up area and all that kind of stuff. So what did you get a sense of where his head was at before that race? It was like the high school kid going into a final, pressure's off. No one's expecting, what we ended up getting. Was he nervous? Like, what read did you have on him before that race?
No, so actually, also, like I said, I didn't say this part. Like, I wasn't there. I just
That's
had twin
right.
girls in.
Yeah.
I had twin girls in June, so I'm at home. I'm talking to him every day, but like, right. So his older brother Drew deserves a ton of the credit, but his older brother is clutch, man. His older brother just stays calm, and that's the other part. No, like Cooper is like, and even that because I asked his dad, and I hit him up, and my thing was like, hey, Giants. This was my saying on that day. I said, Giants get slayed all the time, man. Like, if it's there, you go slay him, type of thing. But it was more of the aspect of like, he's just a confident kid, and he's an excited kid. Like he never looks, actually, I don't want to say never. I've seen him once or twice ever look like, but I think it's almost like he's thinking more than he's racing. So anytime he's in race mode, he doesn't look like that. He looks light. He looks happy to be there, right? Type of thing. And so his brother deserves a ton of the credit. And, like his big brother was just with him. And I think that's the part, right? Like, again, I just don't know how to express the family part. It's like his brother just hung out with him.
Hmm.
So even that, like I was his brother out there this morning. I said, and I asked him yesterday too, because his brother's right now running summer training and all that stuff. So he'll come around. And I think he never really wants to. And I'm like, dude, you're always welcome out here. Like, I want you out here around us. But he's like, dude, he's like, he just got it, like one of those of like, he just feels it. Like he loves the race. He loves the competition. So, as far as me and him chatting, it seemed light. Like he just seemed light about it, where I'm like, that's the way I define it. It's like, he didn't seem heavy. It didn't seem pressure. It's like, if I get ninth, everyone's still gonna be like the 16-year-old kid was in the race, right? So it's like he had nothing to lose, nothing to gain, which I guess
Yeah.
obviously a lot to gain, but like, yeah,
Final instructions from you were, was that a phone call right there where you said the Giants sometimes get slayed or whatever it
yeah.
was?
Well, I texted him that, right, and then our conversation about the race plan was, right, that you're gonna, which we had already talked about before, was you're gonna be fifth or sixth, right, like is our goal. Don't let any gaps open, right, like you can be back a touch, but nope. Which, and even that, again, credit to him. He let a gap open. So me and his dad laugh about it because we're like, I don't even know what to say. Like we still would say don't let the gaps open, but it's like it's gonna go out hot. Like you just need to be there. And then if someone, because we're like, if someone comes back, you'll attack. Like we know you will. Uh, right. And so then that's where I say the text message comes like, and that's how I know he's good too, is that he just like he'll
Thumbs
like it.
up
And
it.
I'm like, yep, exactly.
Exactly.
And I'm like, and it's like, but I'm talking about that was like an hour before his race. So I'm like, oh, the fact that you're seeing this and you're giving a thumbs up means like you're, like I've coached multiple kids where like I'll say something and they'll kind of do a little head nod. That's what he's doing in that moment, right? He's going, gotcha, coach. Like, and I did. At the end, I was like, so when the time comes, I was like, attack, attack, attack. Clearly, again, that's just a text message. I'm not saying that's why, but clearly the kid attacked. Clearly Cooper did right go after the Giants, all that type of stuff. So it's fun. It's fun to say that, and I think that's the part is like I try to have a little bit to say, but not too much, right? When I was younger, coach, I think I'm talking a lot, right? I think I talk too much before a race. I'll talk a lot more at practice than what I will at a race. The work's done. Like I don't have a ton to say.
So take me through your recollection of watching that race unfold. Hoey takes it out hard, and then from 200 to 400, Cooper has that really smart move of slowing it down, and he's a second and a half, a little even over, behind the leaders at that
Mm-hmm.
point. Then obviously gets into position, and that final 200 was just all out middle school tactics as he called it. But what do you remember about watching this race unfold, and what stood out to you?
Oh, 100%. I've told the story. This is like the best part of the story is that I'm standing up. Lindsay's on the couch behind me. I'm standing up watching TV. I'm in the, oh man. And I'm like, especially like before it, I'm like, man, they ain't say nothing about Cooper. At least like mention it, because I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. So I'm like, but then all of a sudden moving forward to that part, which is the best part about it, 150 to go, I turn to Lindsay and I go, he's coming. And I just like instantly know. I go, oh, he's coming. And she, and it like makes my hair stand up just thinking about it because I'm like, I coach the kids, so I watch them, and it's like I always say, like I can tell when someone's on and I can tell when someone's off, and I'm like, he's coming, he's got, and then 100 to go. He hasn't even caught the group yet, and I turn to her and I go, he's gonna win it, he's gonna win it, he's gonna, and I started like, it sounds crazy, right? He's not, but I again like just know the kid that I coach, right? I don't know everyone else. I know the kid that I coach, and I know what he's capable of when he gets moving. And then it starts going wide, those guys, and I'm like, and I like, because I haven't stopped chanting, he's gonna win it. And then when that happened, I pause for a second, and then he just comes up so fast next to him, right? At least in my recollection of it, and I go, he's gonna win it, he's gonna win it, he's gonna, and I'm like jumping up and down, I'm like, he's gonna win, he's gonna, and sorry if this ain't coming through good in a Zoom, but it's like I was fired up. Like he's gonna win. He's gonna win. Like because yeah, I mean he's just moving. I don't have a clue what the time is anymore. I mean he goes through and I go second. I'm like I start screaming like a little girl. I'm like 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 I'm just like running around. I'm like oh my phone is like like phone calls and FaceTimes. Like everyone is like hitting up like crazy. All sorts of stuff, and I still have no clue what time it ran. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm running around the house. I'm like, oh man, like like what in the world, type of thing. And then you get back in front of the TV finally, and it's like I go 142, 142. I was like, oh my, right? Like I had no clue that stuff had happened. So it was incredible. And then you could hear that crowd, right? I mean, I must have watched that race 20. I didn't check any text messages. I talked to people that called. I didn't check any social media for like 2 3 hours. I just was enjoying. That's where going back to the emotional part, I just enjoyed talking to people that knew him, knew me, right? Like being able to talk to the people that are important about like wow, how my mom was there, like being able to watch, and he shouts out my name and I'm like dude, and that's what I'm saying, like that's Cooper. It's like wow. Like, and like I said, my mom, like, see, and she just smiles for like 5 minutes, like, right? It's like, you can't beat that. And then the first conversation, right? We don't get to have it till way later in the day because he's in processing and
Yeah.
drug testing and all that stuff. It's like, he goes, "Did you hear me say your name, coach?" And I go, "Dude," I said, "you don't get it, man." I said, "All the racing is awesome." I said, "You made my mom smile for like 5 minutes, man." I said, "Seriously, thanks." Like, and it's like one of those, like, you don't know the impact that you have by small, generous gestures like that, but like, that was cool. Right? Like, no one, think about it. Pros don't even necessarily shout out, maybe they'll do a hi mom or something, but it's like, I was like, unreal that he did that, especially he's still tired. And he said, like, I was like, this guy's the man. Uh, so yeah, I mean, that moment though, like that, it was unreal. Where like even still when I talk about it, I get hyped up because I'm like, I can still picture it. And I'm just like, no way. And it's like, I get it. I'm saying he's gonna win it, and he got second. Cool, against Donovan Brazier. Donovan Brazier, like, that's amazing. Are you kidding me? Like, that story right there is amazing. We would have gladly took third. We would have gladly took 143.8. We would have like whatever it would have been. So it's like, dude, it was just nothing but fun.
When you see the photos and the race of like him with his hands on his head, just like his mind was blown. I mean, what do you think was going through his mind in that moment? And then at the same time, like I'm sure in your own living room, like you were the same exact way.
Oh yeah, I think it was like, I, if I had to guess, which I didn't ask him, right? That probably is a good question. It's like, I think it was probably like, oh my God, I did it, right? Like, one of those moments where it's like, I made the team, type of situation where it's like, wow, I ran against the best, and I'm good enough to run against the best, type of thing. And then for myself was just like, wow, like, this kid really can do whatever he's like dreaming up for himself. Like, it's like those type of moments where I was just like, this is, and that's all. The only word that kept popping up over and over for me. I even remember like someone was like, "Hey, do you have a quote?" Like later, I didn't hit them back for like hours, so I just said, "Incredible family, incredible kid, incredible race." Like that. I just, and that's the only word that keeps coming to me. It's just like incredible. Like you said, when we talked about chatting, it's like about his epic. It's like, yeah, it's like stuff like that where it's like, there's really good, there's really surprising, and then there's something like that where you're like, I don't even know how to describe it, right? Like, it's just like, yeah, dude, like, you deserve all of it. Like, you raced to have that happen. Enjoy that, man. Like, enjoy that moment. Enjoy, like, and even that, how pure is that he's just like,
Hmm.
like, he's like mind blown that it happened. Like, I mean, it's like you couldn't write it up any better than that type of situation. And I get it, you'd be like, well, he could have won or whatever, right? All the social media trolls will say something. And it's like, yeah, I don't. Here's the thing: you couldn't have wrote it up any better than that. That was perfect. And again, shoot, even if you're like, who do you? If someone had to beat him, who do you hope? Donald Brazier, man. Who doesn't want to root for that guy?
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, yeah, that's an amazing 800 race. If you love the sport, that race is amazing.
It's one that's going to live on for the ages. And I, how did you get your heart rate to come down from that and then eventually get to
Oh,
sleep?
dude, I didn't go to bed until like so late that night. We went what, like 4 hours later, got steaks. I was like, we're grilling steaks. I got ribeyes. I was like, like, hey, I'm not there, but I'm celebrating at home with the family. I mean, I couldn't. I was mostly just talking to people. I think even, here's part going back to professional development of teaching, right? Being in school and back to work and doing regular stuff. It definitely brings you back to normal. But it's been nice. It's like, it's been good being able to just like enjoy it, right? Like, and that's, I think, the big part. Not like, whoa, we're throwing a party. It's like, but just, it's like this calmness to it where it's not like a overhyped thing, or it's like, yeah, this is just nice. Like, the kid deserves this. The kid works hard. Like, we get to be a part of it, man. How grateful can you be to be a part of it? Right? Like, it's, yeah. So that night, eating steaks, man, being able to just enjoy that with my family, like,
Sounds like you had
uh
more of a celebration than he did because he had to get on the 10 p.m. flight and then make it
yeah.
back home. So it seems like there's been a delayed celebration for him. When you Monday morning, there's practice. Like, what's the team like feel like? What are the vibes like there? And then when he shows up, is it just smiles all around?
Oh, well, you don't know this about Cooper, but Cooper's always one of the first to practice, right? Like, so when I turned and saw him, I have a picture of when he was walking in, and I said, no freaking way, man. like what are we talking about? Like, and he just smiles and like, right. And I was like, and I had to take the picture. I'm like, I can't believe it. Like the dude still came to practice. Yeah. And then of course people came up, hugged him. And, I give him a huge hug because they're just like, dude, unreal. But even that part, it's like, he didn't show up to practice for him. He showed up to practice for us, right? Like he showed up to practice for, right? Like the kid on the team that maybe wants to make an excuse about whatever, that it's like, hey, like this is what we can do and do here, with what Northwest has for us if you choose it, right? Like, and then yeah, he rode, we have two bikes and we rode the bikes while the kids ran, and so he's riding next to me and he's telling me, he write great stories about like, man, like Donovan Brazier was so. Did you see? I got to give him a high five. Like, he's a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He's like, Bryce Hoppel gave me this huge hug. Like that was so cool. Like, and he's just giving me these really good stories that I get to like listen to, right? And it's like, he's comes back and gets to share that stuff. So it it did feel really good, and the kids were really happy. But it's like I said, and I'm sure like people don't always love it, but like yeah, before we started practice, I bragged about him a bunch. And
Hmm.
then after practice, the same point that I just made to you, I said, and now here's the other side of it. I said, while all before practice, I bragged all about him. I said, after practice, I'm going to tell you, he didn't come to practice for him. He came to practice for y'all. I said, that's the part. Some of y'all don't want to do stuff, and you just show up because other people, right? It's good to get a high five from someone. It's good to see that smiling face. It's good to whatever, right? So, right, probably too real, but to like use it, I always kind of reflect back on. So my little brother unfortunately took his own life, and I'm like, you just don't know what it means for someone to show up, right? Like to have someone smile and happy to see you, type of thing. So it's like I definitely don't take those things for granted, right? And that was the part of right, Cooper showing up. I said, he didn't show up today. He didn't train today. He did not. He's tired. He did. It's like he showed up for y'all. He showed up to be around y'all. He showed up to let you know that it's okay to like have hard things happen. Being tired, being a huge one. He could have took off this whole week and no one would have blamed him,
Hmm.
right? Probably most kids do. As far as like he's been at practice every morning. Like the kid loves being part of the team. So unreal, right? Like and again, like that's him. That's what I'm saying. Like those are the stories, and you go, well, did he do it because you knew that later in the week that hopefully Chris would hit you up and you could share it on the no, like you know what I'm saying? Like it did it because that's the type of guy he is.
So, from what you said before about just sort of, it's all about, the present moment and taking things day by day. When are you guys going to start talking and ideating about, Tokyo? When I talked to him, it was again very grounded of like, we'll get there and every round he knows who he's racing. He's racing the best in the world. It's if he can make the semis, that's great. If you make the final, you take it one round at a time. But what's sort of your thought process laying out a plan for the World Championships?
Honestly, right now our goal is let his body, let his emotions, let everything right. You ran 3 hard races in 4 days. So right now we've been playing the hey, let's take a second, let you kind of recover all of that. Enjoy it, but like let's so we ran a couple miles on Tuesday. We ran a couple literally 2 miles on Tuesday. We ran 2 miles yesterday. Right. Like today is the first time that he ran like 30 minutes, like but like we're in not a rush to get back to it because
Hmm.
we know we're gonna get back to it. So he knows that, I know that, like type of situation. But and then as far as like the plans of the race stuff, we don't do that till it's like time to do that. Like if you're like, well, what's the plan for first round? We don't even know. And again, we won't, and we'll talk about it when it's time. Like like it's right now. Like I said, right? You just earlier today was ice bathing. It's like, guess what the goal is? Take care of your body today, right? Like
Hmm.
like we don't have anything crazy that we need to be like, well, after you beat, it's like no, you gotta make it 3 round ones. It's like that's when we'll start talking about it when it's time to talk. When it's time that he has to actually do it. It's kind of that coaching aspect of like, hey, jump, okay, jump. Like what I mean? Now, hey, in 6 weeks, because if I tell you, hey, Chris, in 6 weeks from now, I want you to do this, you might go, well, hold on. Did he mean do it backwards? Did he mean do it forward? Did it, like it's too easy to question all that. So we won't talk about that till that time comes. And again, we'll be grateful to be there.
The time and performance asserts him as one of the best in the world, right? Like he's still 16 years old and all that stuff, but it's up there. And there's no denying how elevated this event has been when you got Wanyoni and Marco Rope, even Brazier and Hoppel, all these people running so out of their minds. But even I guess like you don't allow yourself subconsciously to this weekend was a shock. I feel like for a lot of people it would be less of a shock if you came home with a medal. Do you let yourself think about it?
I guess not. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, no, right? Like, I obviously we know that those guys are out there, but like we're trying to do the best Cooper can do, right? Like, and that, it's like hopefully you hear that throughout as I'm talking. It's like we want to just keep it simple, right? Like, what does it matter what who you're running against? If you can't run the time, it doesn't matter anyways, right? If we're not ready to run, it doesn't matter who's in your race. So it's like I don't, yeah, I really just don't. Like, I don't think it's not like in a it's like all the respect to them. It's like, but we're not thinking about them. I'm thinking about Cooper, right? Like,
Hmm.
I'm thinking about like, how's this kid feeling right now? Like, as far as like physically, emotionally, everything. It's like I'm thinking about him. So I'm not thinking about those guys, and I get it. Like, well, they're gonna cool. I don't know. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? Like Cooper's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We can play it on the opposite round too. It's like, are you all thinking about the 16-year-old kid? Like, no, I'm sure they're not. Good. Like we would prefer it that way, right? Like, hopefully you see him and you give him a high five. Like, let the kid be again enjoying the moment of making it to that type of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, we just don't,
Hmm.
and like you said, and not letting it. I don't. I just think we don't. We haven't had to, and we don't have to. I didn't think about who he's running during high school as far as like who's at the state meet. I just didn't. I don't know. Like I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about Cooper. Like
Yeah.
I'm worried about taking care of him. Right. And so I think there's probably some naivety somewhere along the way in that, but also it's like we'll look at that stuff if all of a sudden we're in a race with you, then maybe we'll say, hey, this guy, I don't know, whatever. This guy goes out really slow. Be careful. He's going to come on like a freight train. Then, yeah, maybe we will have that conversation, but not right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, you just showed that you can run with the best. Cool. Like I said, if anything, it still isn't the pressure. Like, and maybe that's the gift of being young. The pressure is not on him. It could easily be. It's just not. Like, right? Like, what do I want him to do? Run as good as he can, right? Like, what do they hopefully want to do? What does Bryce Hoppe want to do? Run as good as he can. Yeah, like, great. Like, we don't want to beat anyone because they fell. Like we want Cooper to run his best and you run his best. He runs his best, and hopefully he's better on that day, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, obviously, who am I rooting for? Of course, I'm rooting for Cooper, right? Then who else am I rooting for? Of course, I'm rooting for USA, right? Like, let's just be real. Like, we're from Texas. We love us some good USA type of stuff. So no, I mean, it's not even on our radar. Like, right? Like you're saying, all those guys' names. It's like, yeah, we're we don't. It's like not we don't need to. I'm like trying to think the right words. It's like we don't have conversations about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like unless
That's
they run a
fair.
great race, yeah. Like unless they run a great race and like Cooper's excited to talk about them in a positive way,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
man, did you see how cool that was that this person ran that? It's like, then we'll talk about them. But as far as competing against them, yeah, we just don't. We talk
Yeah.
about what we're doing. We're talking about Cooper on whatever something silly that happened with him. You know what I mean? Like it's like those type of things. It's like right. He's like, Coach, I had to change my that process and took forever. I had to change my uniform at a gas station to get on the plane. It's like we're talking about that stuff. That's what we're talking about.
All right. So my final question for you, coach, is you missed the trip to Eugene. You gonna make the trip to Tokyo?
Yeah, I gotta go. I got it. Like 100%. Yeah. Right. And that's even like Georgia is like, you go, I was like, I'll figure it out, type of thing. So, uh, there's things right now like that seem like it's going to all work out. And so awesome. Right. I started even that, right. I'm a high school coach. I don't have to have like USA, TF. Like I've started my background check and all that stuff. Cause I'm like, man, I want to be able to fully experience all this stuff. So, working on all that stuff, and hopefully they work with me to make sure that I'm able to be the spots that'll be really cool to be to support Cooper through all of that. But yeah, I mean, you never know if you get this opportunity again. So it's like that part. If you're like, hey, is there anything that changed? Yeah, me making sure that I can be there. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that part's changed where I'm like, I want to go watch this in person and be able to cheer and celebrate no matter what happens. It's a great experience to be able to go do that.
Definitely. Well, coach, congratulations on all the success with Cooper to get to this point. And I'm sure, just like many people, we're all rooting for the best is yet to come, which is kind of crazy to think about. But we want to see that, and of course, for success, however you choose to define it, for Tokyo. But thanks again for doing this.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chris.